and we all worked together to buy their cars, to help them, to pay them and stuff like that. Now we're all separate and nobody's helping with the younger children.
Hold the polygamy popcorn, besties. Kody just told his ex-wives to pay for Robyn's kids' college and cars. Yep, mister. My money, my rules wants Janelle, Christine, and Meri to open their wallets for the one wife still wearing his ring.
So when I take her out, I hope she doesn't feel pressure. But I'm like, oh, I finally got her all to myself. There's so much I want to talk about.
Twitter, melting. Reddit, rioting. Welcome to the latest Brown family cash grab fiasco. So here's the tea straight from the Part 3 tell-all. While Janelle was busy dropping QuickBooks receipts, and Meri was recounting the time Kody and Robyn scolded her for daring to ask about land titles, Kodykins casually slipped in a jaw-dropper. He thinks the older wives should keep funneling family fund dollars into Robyn's remaining teens. Translation, you divorced me, but I still deserve your cash.
And we all worked together to buy their cars, to help them, to pay them and stuff like that. Now we're all separate and nobody's helping with the younger children.
Christine's side eye could have cut granite. Janelle looked one spreadsheet away from a forensic audit, and fans lit up X with hashtag PayYourOwnKids. Tonight, we're following the money trail, how Kody's sacred cow spin collapsed, why Robyn's recency bias defense blew up in her face, and whether this tantrum just handed the IRS an engraved invitation. Buckle up. The Brown budget is officially on fire. Picture the tell-all studio, overhead lights humming, coffee gone lukewarm, and everyone thinking the worst bombshells are already on the table. Then Kody leans forward, folds his arms like a disappointed principal, and drops the line that sends every woman in America reaching for her reading glasses. Look, the family has always pooled resources. Christine's kids, Janelle's kids, they all got help with tuition and cars. It's only fair the pot keeps covering Robyn's younger ones. Divorce doesn't change fatherly responsibility. So yes, I expect the older wives to keep contributing. Silence. Christine's jaw sets so tight you half expect a crack. Janelle exhales, long and slow, like she's recounting to 10,000. Meri blinks twice, once for shock, once for confirmation she actually heard that right. Even host Sukanya freezes, her cue cards drooping as if the teleprompter just short-circuited. Kody, sensing tension but mistaking it for confusion, plows on.
So when you say that you can't trust him, have there been instances in the past where he hasn't been fair?
In some way, he always seems to come out ahead financially on a deal. I just think he's always looking out for himself and now for Robyn and himself. He just always somehow thinks he's somehow entitled to more.
He calls it honoring the original covenant, claims the fund, capital F, was always meant for all minor children, regardless of marital shifts. He tosses in two favorite buzz phrases, sacred cow and family equity, as if Scripture and QuickBooks share a footnote. The studio clocks tick loud enough to hear. What viewers don't catch on first listen, because their blood pressure spikes, are the sleights of hand tucked inside his plea. Kody frames previous college payments as gifts from the communal pot, glossing over the ledger entries where Janelle and Christine reimburse that account straight from their side hustles. He lumps used Hondas and decade-old sedans into the same car fund that financed Robyn's brand new SUV. Most galling, he pretends the ex-wives still owe, as though filing divorce papers didn't sever their financial umbilical cord. Within minutes, Twitter lights up, "Excuse me, Kody, my ex barely pays his own child support. Now you want yours to cover someone else's? Hashtags multiply. Pay your own kids. Divorce means divide. Coupon gate." On Reddit, grandmothers trade horror stories while uploading screenshots from Janelle's QuickBooks receipts. By the time producers call cut, the outrage is international. And in that thick, humming quiet before the next question, three ex-wives sit very still, each calculating in her own way just how fast a polite studio chat can turn into a financial reckoning. If looks could issue subpoenas, Christine's glare would have served Kody on the spot. The moment his older wives must contribute decree hit the air, her entire posture shifted from polite interviewee to protective mama bear.
Do you want to be a better friend to Meri?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, if there's anything that I can fix with her, I want to fix it.
Shoulders squared, brow arched, and that mouth set so flat you'd swear it was carved from Utah sandstone. She didn't interrupt. 40-plus years teaches a woman that silence can slice deeper than words. Instead, she angled her body halfway, toward Janelle, a silent sister-to-sister volley. Did he seriously just say that out loud? Janelle caught the cue, pursed her lips, and reached for an invisible calculator. Classic habit. Viewers could practically hear the mental keystrokes. Tuition already paid, cars already financed, grocery gaps already patched. Her eyes didn't roll. She's too composed, but they did narrow behind her reading glasses. The universal sign of a woman about to pull receipts. Producers later revealed that during the commercial break, Janelle whispered, "I flagged those distributions 5 years ago." He knows the totals. Translation, "I've got the line items, Kody. Don't test me." Meri, ever the diplomatic eldest, tried a composed inhale. We saw her practicing that gentle, therapist-approved nod she's mastered over decades of mediating family drama. But watch the replay. Her left eyebrow twitches. A Morse code flash only seasoned viewers notice. That tiny muscle means one thing: internal screaming. She's replaying Leon's double-billed tuition fiasco and realizing Kody's new request is deja vu in Technicolor. What truly sealed the "are you kidding me" energy was Christine's audible tisk, soft but caught by a hot mic.
I feel the same way that she's not reciprocating it either. So I'm kind of like, I think it's just a matter of the both of us kind of really putting the same kind of effort in.
The internet froze it into a 10-second loop. Christine tilts her head, lips tighten, and out pops the sharp exhale older women use when the meeting should have ended an hour ago. In body language circles, they call that the granite side-eye. Fans instantly adopted it. Meme captions like "me when my ex asks for my Netflix password." Kody, oblivious or pretending, glanced at Robyn for backup. She offered a thin, supportive smile, more nervous than reassuring, while adjusting a designer bracelet viewers later confirmed cost more than most community college semesters. One studio light flickered, almost on cue, as if the universe itself rolled its eyes. The minute Kody's demand went viral, Janelle did what women over 45 have perfected. She pulled the paperwork. Out came the battered external hard drive labeled Brown Family Final, because every spreadsheet queen has one. She clicked open the tuition folder and there it was. The identical line item paid in duplicate. First payment, June 2018. Originating from the Brown Family LLC checking account. Second payment, same amount, same date, but drawn directly from Janelle's personal side hustle savings, the stash she built selling wellness shakes at church bazaars. Scroll forward to July 2019, a wire for a gently used sedan. To get Christine's son to technical college. Everyone remembers the episode. Kody called it a family purchase. Turns out the LLC debit reversed 2 days later and re-hit Janelle's debit card. The reversal memo? Inter-account correction. Christine never knew. Janelle quietly balanced her own budget and kept filming. And the pièce de résistance? A fall 2020 charge labeled Instrument Purchase Education. Viewers saw a confessional that season where Robyn proudly unveiled her son's new violin. Kody claimed it came from scholarship funds. Janelle's ledger begs to differ. $1,900, transferred from Christine's cookbook royalties holding. The cookbook royalties Christine thought were paying off kitchen remodel debt. Half went straight to strings, bows, and a monogrammed case, none of which ever left Robyn's house. Janelle highlighted each duplicate or redirected charge in bright coral, printed the pages, and slid them into clear sleeves, so no coffee stains ruin the evidence. She quipped. When she handed the binder to Christine, they joked it weighed more than truly at birth. Meri got her own copy later that evening, delivered with a single post-it. Told you so. Love, Jay. The emotional punch isn't just the dollars, it's the trust tax. For every correction Janelle quietly absorbed, she skipped a weekend trip, postponed an oil change, or clipped coupons a little harder. Multiply that by 10 years, and the $1 million siphon isn't just math. It's the echo of 100 tiny sacrifices made, while someone else upgraded a wardrobe and booked private music lessons. Meri once believed that keeping meticulous folders, color-coded by year, labeled with her signature calligraphy, would inoculate her against financial surprises. But Janelle's coral-highlighted binder dragged her back to a moment she'd filed under resolved. It was autumn 2014, and Leon's sophomore tuition at Westminster College came due. Meri, flush from her growing LuLaRoe commissions, volunteered a hefty payment. Kody assured her, hand on shoulder, that the family fund would pick up the remainder. Don't worry, Meri. Equal shares, remember? Fast forward a month. Meri opened her online banking and saw a fresh debit labeled Westminster Tuition. Meri Boutique Proceeds. She stared confused. Had Leon added a class? She called the bursar's office. The balance was $0. Out came the desk calculator. 2 payments, identical amounts, 48 hours apart. She confronted Kody. He murmured about refund timing and suggested she let accounting shake out. The refund never came. Now, kneeling over Janelle's ledger, Meri saw the twin transactions in black and white. The first payment, supposedly from the communal account, had been quietly reversed 3 days later, routed back to the LLC and then out again to a vendor named AZ Patio and Pergola. Cross-reference with Robyn's Instagram, the exact week she posted weekend grill night under our new pergola. Grateful. For Meri, it was less the dollars than the realization of deliberate concealment. She remembered trimming her grocery budget that winter, generic cereal instead of name brand, canceling a women's retreat because money's tight. She'd chalked it up to responsible parenting. Now she learns her sacrifice subsidized cedar posts and twinkle lights 2 driveways over. She slid her glasses down, pinched the bridge of her nose, and uttered the sentence older women use when anger meets utter clarity. Well, I'll be blessed. In Meri speak, that's DEFCON 1. A producer later confessed that Meri spent the next break photographing every page with her phone, silently mouthing the totals. When she finished, she tucked the device into her purse, straightened her blouse, and rejoined the interview with a smile so polite it could cut glass. Because sometimes the sharpest knives stay sheathed, until court filings make them necessary. Robyn must have spent the weekend scrolling psychologytoday.com because she arrived at the tell-all armed with a brand new buzz phrase, recency bias. She deployed it the minute Sukanya asked why viewers see her household swimming in perks while the others budget for rice and beans. People only remember the latest things, Robyn explained, smoothing an alpaca blend cardigan. They forget how much I gave up in the beginning. It's just recency bias, Suki. They're rewriting history. Nice try. Unfortunately for Robyn, the over 45 demo also reads Merriam-Webster, and Twitter aunties were already copy-pasting definitions before her sentence ended. Recency bias means overvaluing recent events, downplaying the distant past. Trouble is Robyn's recent run includes a mortgage refinance, designer grocery hauls, and that shiny SUV, while Janelle's and Christine's recent memories involve Goodwill runs and coupon binders. If anything, recency bias should make us forgive Robyn's earlier spending and focus on the latest ledger lopsidedness. Oops, Christine's reaction? A tight smile that said, "Bless your heart," but words still have meanings. Janelle tilted, her head like a math teacher who's just heard a student claim 2 + 2 = 5. Even Sukanya, whose neutral face could win poker tournaments, let her eyebrows flick north for half a second. Robyn plowed forward, citing that infamous first corporate paycheck story Kody loves. She claimed her slice went to family debts. Within minutes, Reddit sleuths dug up real estate filings showing the paycheck's date falls weeks after those debts were paid, many by Janelle's cashier's checks. Fans pounced. Recency bias, more like fancy bias, bias toward fancy handbags. The crowning moment came when Meri, normally diplomatic to a fault, broke her silence. She leaned toward Robyn and softly asked, "Is recency bias what made my tuition payments show up under your patio expenses?" Robyn blinked, twice, then adjusted her cardigan sleeve. Producers cut to commercial, but studio witnesses swear the room temperature dropped 10 degrees. By episode's end, recency bias trended, but not the way Robyn intended. Grandmas on Facebook started using it sarcastically. "Sure, I forgot to buy milk. Must be recency bias." Meme pages stitched Robyn's definition over dictionary screenshots. Nothing ages faster than a misused buzzword, and this one expired before the credits even rolled. When cornered, Kody doesn't apologize. He pivots to parables. Tonight's fable, the sacred cow. He leans in, voice dropping to Sage on the Mount register. Money discussions used to be sacred cattle in this family, untouchable. My exes are dragging the cow into the slaughterhouse, and I'm fighting to keep it holy. Cue collective eye roll from every woman who's ever watched a partner wrap selfishness in scripture. But let's unpack the metaphor, because Kody's cow isn't reverence, it's control. Declaring a topic off limits is Narcissism 101. Set the rule, hoard the power. If no one questions finances, he controls the purse. If anyone dares, they're violating the sacred. Neat trick. Until you're heard, read Ex-Wives learns the gate code. Janelle calmly rebuts, "Sacred cows? Kody, you moved the fence line. Every time Robyn wanted patio pavers." Christine adds, "Pretty sure the cow tipped over when you labeled private violin lessons family assets." The studio audience, mostly crew, muffled nervous chuckles. Kody's next move follows the narcissist playbook to the letter. Reframe dissent as disloyalty. He accuses the wives of trashing the family legacy by airing money grievances in public. Classic guilt grenade. Shift focus from what he did to how victims react. Many viewers over 45 recognize the tactic from office politics, church committees, even past marriages, call it the sin of speaking up. but tonight the grenade fizzles. Meri, who once tiptoed around confrontation, asks the question older women eventually master. And what legacy is that exactly? Her tone is porcelain polite, yet every syllable glints. Kody sputters about plural ideals, but the phrase lands hollow after 19 seasons of dwindling spouses. Finally, he reaches for pathos. I just want everyone to feel safe discussing money. Translation: safe means silent. Yet the binders on Janelle's lap and the granite in Christine's stare say those days are done. Sacred cow or not, the barn door's open, the ledger's loose, and the herd is voting with its hooves, straight to auditors, attorneys, and a nationwide fanbase that's seen this rodeo before. Grab your readers and a cup of chamomile because nothing illustrates Kody's cash grab like a good old-fashioned compare and contrast. Janelle printed 2 months of receipts, taped them to a folding table, and invited Christine and Meri to a budget reveal party. They brought pie, she provided highlighters. Here's what the ladies found. Groceries, Robyn's cart. Imported prosciutto, artisan brie. Organic berries in January, plus sparkling water packed by the case. Total, $1,824. Janelle's cart, clearance chicken thighs, day-old bread, bulk beans, a single treat bag of chocolate chips for morale. Total, $512, and that fed twice as many mouths. Vehicles, Robyn, brand new SUV, leather seats, 0-mile odometer. Financed through the family LLC with a down payment of $13,000. Pulled the same week Christine's minivan needed new brakes. Christine paid cash for said brake job, $360 she'd earmarked for a birthday ice cream cake. Kids got homemade brownies instead. Backyards, Robyn, professional landscaping crew, custom pergola, and a cedar sandbox, because plastic looks cheap. Labor and materials, $11,400. Meri, repaired a sagging fence with recycled lumber sourced from a neighbor's Craigslist post. Cost, $50 and a plate of lemon bars as thanks. Kids extras. Robyn's son received private violin lessons, $90 an hour, billed weekly, coded in the ledger as educational assets. Janelle's daughter wanted an SAT prep course, denied for budget constraints, so mom bought used textbooks on eBay. Janelle color-coded everything. Robyn spending in orchid purple because high-end receipts deserve high-end ink, other wives in utilitarian blue. When she stepped back, the sheet looked like a bruise. Purple splotches dwarfing blue. Christine snapped a photo and posted it to her private group chat with the caption, "Remember, sacred cow." Within minutes, someone added a cartoon bull eating designer purses. Meri, always the diplomat, just sighed. We used to joke that some of us shopped at Target and some at Tiffany. Turns out we were paying both bills all along. Luxury for some, layaway for others. And now the receipts aren't whispered complaints. They're laminated exhibits waiting for the next round of negotiations or subpoenas. Nothing mobilizes. Women over 45 like a fairness foul, and Kody just committed one on national TV. Within 15 minutes of the episode's airing, Twitter's Knitting Circle Corner birthed hashtag PayYourOwnKids. By sunrise, the hashtag trended beside weather alerts and stock reports. Facebook's Sister Wives Over 50 group, 32,000 members strong, pinned a tuition calculator spreadsheet. Grandmothers swapped line numbers. If he wants 4 years at State University plus dorm fees, that's roughly $96,000. Multiply by the younger 2 kids, add vehicle allowance, and Kody's request tops $200,000. Hard pass, sir. On Reddit, Sister Wives launched a community audit thread. Users crowdsourced screenshots, zoning permits, and boutique receipts, assembling a shared Google Doc so detailed one commenter quipped, "The IRS should hire us. Our snack budget is cheaper." Another posted a macro showing Robyn's per child expenditure compared to national averages. Conclusion, her teen's annual budget rivals a private college president's salary. TikTok, home of the quick hit rant, produced viral skits, women in bathrobes answering fake phone calls from their exes. "Hi, yes, I'll totally pay for your new wife's kids. Right after I fund a unicorn ranch on Mars." Soundtrack, Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, Naturally. Traditional media took notice. Good Morning America invited a financial planner to explain why divorced spouses typically owe nothing to children they didn't parent. He smiled sympathetically and said, "In my 20 years, I've never seen a request quite like Mr. Brown's." Cue polite studio laughter and a cross-screen caption linking to the planner's budgeting workbook. Sales reportedly spiked. Even TLC's official Instagram felt the heat. They posted a neutral promo. Thoughts on tonight's episode? Within an hour, comments hit 5 figures. 90% sporting that hashtag. The social media intern tried hiding replies, but users simply reposted screenshots with the caption, "Deleted but not forgotten." Kody may dismiss online chatter as jealous ex-energy, but this isn't fleeting gossip. It's a digital paper trail, tens of thousands of viewers archiving timelines and tallying totals. And collective outrage, once spreadsheet-armed, rarely fades. It calcifies into petitions, advertiser emails, and calls for audits TLC can't ignore. While the internet tallied receipts, Janelle's Scottsdale attorney drafted a 9-page demand letter. Item 1. Immediate disclosure of all LLC withdrawals earmarked educational or vehicle since 2018. Item 2. A full accounting of any personal debts Kody or Robyn paid from communal funds. The letter gives Kody 15 business days to comply. If he stalls, next step is a civil suit alleging conversion, legalese, for "you used my money without permission." Christine's publisher, sensing bestseller Lightning, fast-tracked her manuscript through legal review. The attorney flagged a few paragraphs. Remove private bank account numbers, but keep the dollar figures. They're newsworthy. That green light means her memoir can print exact amounts and still dodge defamation claims, as long as she attaches Janelle's source docs in an appendix. Think pay stubs turned footnotes. Editors predict first-run sales north of 200,000 copies, especially if the IRS investigation rumor proves true. Yes, IRS investigation. A well-placed Reddit moderator, former tax clerk, tipped off a regional field office about the ledger discrepancies circulating online. If the agency finds unreported distributions or misclassified expenses, penalties can reach 25% plus interest. Worse for Kody, an audit could pierce the LLC veil, tagging personal assets. Goodbye fancy watches, hello payment plan. Network execs aren't blind. TLC's legal department quietly requested hold orders on all raw footage containing money talk. Translation: preserve evidence. Should subpoenas arrive, they'll hand over hard drives rather than risk obstruction. A mid-level producer leaked that season 20 contracts remain unsigned pending financial clarity. Robyn, sensing fallout, allegedly scheduled a consult with a tax settlement firm. Those late-night commercial folks who promised to negotiate pennies on the dollar. One problem: settlement requires liability admission, and Kody's ego views admission as kryptonite. Standoff brewing? Absolutely. Meanwhile, Meri's estate planning lawyer discovered her name appears on fewer assets than advertised. He filed a preliminary complaint for fraudulent misrepresentation, a move that freezes certain property transfers until courts sort ownership. In real terms, Kody can't refinance Robyn's house or sell Coyote Pass cabins without Meri's notarized consent. Leverage she's never enjoyed before. Legal thunder in the distance, IRS barometer dropping. TLC nervous about ad revenue. Kody's sacred cow just wandered into a regulatory slaughterhouse. So here's our end of episode ledger. Kody wants tuition money from ex-wives who've already double paid, Robyn's buzzwords misfired, fans formed a forensic army, and lawyers sharpened their fountain pens. The family fund Kody once guarded like Fort Knox now resembles Swiss cheese, full of holes, leaking secrets, and attracting auditors like mice to Gruyere. Where does that leave the Browns? And us? In storytelling terms, we're perched at the highest ridge of Coyote Pass, watching thunderheads roll in. Will Kody comply with Janelle's demand letter or double down on sacred cows? Could the IRS treat boutique receipts as taxable income, slapping fines big enough to force a property sale? And if TLC decides the drama outweighs liability, do we witness season 20 or the network's first primetime cancellation by calculator? Now I turn the spotlight to our savvy, spreadsheet-loving community. Question 1. If you were Janelle, would you push forward with a full civil suit or accept a private settlement to avoid dragging the kids through depositions? Question 2. Which repercussion worries Kody most? An IRS audit, public memoir numbers, or TLC yanking camera crews and paychecks from his driveway? Drop your answers below. Be specific, be bold, and feel free to share your own sacred cow moments. I read every comment, high-five every receipt, and highlight top theories in the next video. While you're here, tap like to keep this investigation on YouTube's radar. Hit subscribe so you never miss a ledger update, and ring that notification bell, because when subpoenas start flying, you'll want front row seats. The next upload is already exporting, and judging by the storm forecast, it's packing winds strong enough to knock designer pergolas straight off their posts. Until then, sisters, keep your binders handy, your passwords changed, and your sacred cows safely pastured. Far from any man who thinks divorce still means my money, my rules. See you in the comments, and remember, knowledge is power, but receipts, they're absolute fire.